So this church is in San Antonio, Texas. It's Our Lady of Immaculate Concepcion, Immaculada Concepcion. It is the only church in the United States that has everything original, and some of the things have been modernized, of course. But the candle holders that now have lights were the originals from back in, I believe it's 1755. The paintings are the originals. And esta es la misión en Estados Unidos, que tiene todo original, inclusive las bancas. Claro, las han limpiado, y las pinturas que tiene a un lado está una de Nuestra Señora de Guadalupe, la Purisima Concepcion, y al lado derecho, que vamos a ver un ratito, es el de Padre Francisco de Asisi. Aquí tenemos todo original. Las pinturas que están atrás tuvieron que limpiar en 1988 para poder verlas mejor. In 1988, they cleaned up the walls from the dirt to be able to expose the original paintings. What do you think, Alec? Good? I knew she was gonna say good.
So these three paintings you see here, these three paintings have been here since 1710 when this mission was built. We don't know who the artists are. Some bugs still. We have them in a climate control room in the Archdiocese of San Antonio. It belongs to the Archdiocese of San Antonio, all 670 some odd books, because these 5 missions were built under the Catholic Franciscan Friars of Spain. And so they told us that these 3 paintings have been here ever since. The painting that you see above the main altar is an original 1691 painting of Our Lady of the Immaculate Conception, in whose honor and name the Christian Church of God is named after. Right above me here is an original 1591 painting of St. Francis of Assisi. He's a co-founder of the Franciscan Order, and these 5 missions were built under the Franciscan Order. If you know the story of St. Francis, he lived in the 13th century. He's only 1 of 2 known people in the entire world that had the power of stigmata. He suffered the wounds that Christ suffered on the cross, hands, feet, and side. Just right across me is an original painting, an original 1692 painting of Our Lady of Guadalupe, taken in Mexico, but here to Alamo, Indian. His name was Juan Diego on December the 12th, 1531. She appeared to Juan Diego on the hill of Tepeyac, which is today Mexico City, and she appeared to Juan Diego as a brown Aztec princess. She's a patron lady of the Aztec people and of Mexico. And these 3 paintings have been here ever since. We don't restore them, they're all original. Right in the middle of this row.
Oh yeah. Looking to the right or left.
If you see it, you're blessed. If you don't see it, you need to go to church more often.
Her profile?
That's amazing. Yes, her
She's looking
profile.
downward.
And they don't know if it was painted originally or if it came up
Long veil.
afterwards. Wow.
Oh, I see. She's looking
See
this
it?
way.
Mhm.
She's looking
Oh,
downward.
she's looking this way, yes. I was seeing the brown image with the pointy nose. That
Right.
her
Her face, her chin, her collar, and she's got her arms crossed on her chest.
Thank you very much, sir.
You're welcome.
is absolutely amazing. Yeah, Olive and I intend to do a hike on this trail someday, hopefully not too long from now, from the Alamo, which is one of the original 5 churches here, to this one, which is the second one, and there's 3 more. And they're all between 10 and 5 miles apart, so we may not do them in one day, but that's our goal, to do that as soon as possible. Okay. Mine about. Hi. First of all, what is your name, sir?
Arturo Valdez.
Arturo Valdez, sir.
A
And you.
longer Spanish name, an Indian name, but Art Valdez.
And you are one of the ones that let me get up here.
Original descendant of the Pajalacha tribe at the Spanish frontier.
And there's only 65 remaining.
We only have 65 remaining descendants because of it. As a little boy, I was about 10 years old. They took my DNA from the remains they found at this church. I'm a direct descendant of the Pajalacha tribe at the Spanish frontier 500 years ago. Because of a recorded history for 600 years and possibly beyond, and because of a recorded language for 600 years and possibly beyond, I can speak 98% of our language.
Yeah,
But the only problem is that we only have 65 remaining descendants,
Oh, no.
original descendants in our tribe.
Yeah. Now, you were saying something about how Texas got its beginnings.
Yeah, the reason that we have 5 Spanish missions here this close together, they're all within a mile to 3 miles apart, nowhere else in the United States, nowhere else in North America. It was because this was the second entry point for the Spanish to arrive in 1521. No other place in the southwestern part, the Pacific Northwest or the Midwest was yet to be explored by anyone. So the Spanish chose Texas in 1521 to explore in order to keep the French out. They wanted to make sure that the French did not encroach into this area. Otherwise, the French would have come into this area, explored the whole southwestern part, the Pacific Northwest and the Midwest, and would be all speaking French in this area today. That's why the Spanish chose this area, in order to keep the Spanish out.
I mean, the French out.
The French out, I'm sorry. So 1520, Queen Isabel, King Ferdinand V, King and Queen of Spain, wanted to explore the southern half of what is today Texas, the northern half of what is today Mexico. They wanted to explore that area too by previous explorations. So in order to do that, Queen Isabel, King Ferdinand V, sent a well-known explorer in 1520 by the name of Hernan Cortés. Now, Hernan Cortés leave Spain with a force of 500 men, 14 ships, in order to explore this area right here, keep the French out, continue exploration. We have the maps, we have the archives. The Spanish left us with over 500 books in the archives. So we know what happened. So we have the maps, we have the archives. Hernan Cortés arrives a year later in the Gulf of Mexico, 1521. As he arrives in the Gulf of Mexico, he comes into what is today the port city of Veracruz, which is Mexico, but it wasn't called Mexico 500 years ago. It was called Mexico. So he was to come in. He came in through the through that port city, inland, and he was to travel northward and explore this area right here with his 500 men in order to keep the French out, continue exploration. But Hernan Cortés and his 500 men never arrived into this area, never did. And the reason for that is because when he comes into the Gulf of Mexico, he comes into the port city of Veracruz, comes inland, now he encounters one of the most advanced civilizations in the New World in 1521, the Aztec Empire, whose leader was Montezuma. And that's why he was not able to come here, otherwise he would have come here as he was instructed by Queen Isabel, King Ferdinand V. Now he has to encounter the Aztec people. So because they found gold and riches in the Aztecs, they completely conquered and destroyed the Aztecs. So now the Spanish conquest of the Americas occurred. I'm cutting it short, but as I go along, I'll give you the history there. So now, with other Spanish explorers, they come into the late 1500s, early 1600s. Hernan Cortés and other Spanish explorers conquer and destroyed, along with the Aztecs, the Mayan civilization, the Olmec civilization, the Inca civilization, other civilizations along the way. Now, in 1521, the Spanish control what is today South America, Central America, Mexico, and the bottom half of southwestern, the Pacific Northwest, and the Midwest of what is today the United States. Spanish control all that. So because we're less than 650 miles away here from Mexico City, after the destruction of the Aztec Empire, the Spanish established their capital city of New Spain in what is today Mexico City. Because we're less than 650 miles away here from Mexico City, this is the next entry point for the Spanish to arrive. So 162 Spanish explorers, accompanied by 7 Franciscan friars, arrive here on August the 18th of 1521. When they arrive here, they find no gold or riches here. What they find here is much more important to them than gold and riches. First, they find a huge limestone rock quarry, which is right there in front of this church. Still there. It hasn't been used in over 300 years, but it's still there. As they arrived here, it was pretty huge and exposed. 5 Spanish missions and the Spanish aqueduct were built strictly from that single limestone rock quarry right there in front. If you were to fly over the city today, you would see many pockets of limestone rock quarries scattered all over the city. Limestone rock is very natural, very abundant in this area. Anywhere you dig in the ground, you will hit limestone rock. We get our water from the underground aquifer. As the rain seeps to the limestone rock, we get our pure drinking water. And second, they find a huge river, less than a half a mile from here, source of life. The Spanish told us in their archives that this river had an abundance of water 500 years ago. Well, the Spanish find the headwaters for this river a mile and a half north of where the Mission Alamo stands today, and in Spanish they name it Aguas de San Pedro, San Pedro Springs. Well, 500 years later, that water still gushes right out of that spring, still comes right in 500 years later.
Amazing.
Not as plentiful as 500 years ago, but still comes right. So it feeds this river. This river today is the San Antonio River, and it empties into the Gulf of Mexico.
Wow.
And to their amazement, to their surprise, they also find and discover 30 native tribes that live on the banks of this river. Hunter-gatherers that roam the plains of what is today Texas. The Spanish were amazed and they were surprised because in their exploration of what is today Texas, as they came in from the coastal plains in 1521, they found nothing. Now they come here and they find 30 native tribes of many, many different dialects.
And you're a descendant of one of them, correct?
Yes, that's correct. And they find 30 tribes. Now, 53 years ago, we were able to go through all 670 some odd books that the friars left us in these 5 Spanish missions here. Amazing documentation of how life evolved in these 5 missions here. These books are that long and that high. They are under lock and key. We still have all 670 some odd books. They're in a climate control room in the Archdiocese of San Antonio. It belongs to the Archdiocese of San Antonio because these 5 missions were built under the Catholic Franciscan friars of Spain. And 53 years ago, we were able to go through all of them. So when they found these 53 years ago, when we went through all these 670 some books, we were astonished to find that the friars actually left us with a recorded number. How many consisted of 30 tribes? Almost 10,000 native people. The Spanish were elated. They found exactly what they were searching for in the New World. They found the gold and the riches in those civilizations. That's why the Spanish conquest occurred. Now they come here and they find 10,000 souls in which to convert into the Spanish way of life. That's why they built these 5 missions here, all within a mile to 3 miles apart, strictly for the conversion of 10,000 native people. 1630, the first mission was built. The further southern mission, Misión San Francisco de la Espada. The next mission in line, 1640, Misión San Juan Capitano. This one here, next one in line, 1710, Misión Nuestra Señora de la Purisima Concepcion de Acuña, Our Lady of the Immaculate Conception. The next one in line, 1718, Misión San Antonio de Valera, in honor of the Spanish Viceroy, today known as the Alamo. And the last mission that they built here, 1720, Misión San Jose y San Miguel de Cuello, and that's the reason that we have 5 Spanish missions here. I'm a direct descendant of the Pajalacha tribe that the Spanish found right here. Now, what happened was that 10,000 native people, they named this area in their native tongues. In my native tongue, they named this area Texas, which means friendship. They were friendly tribes. Of course, the English derivative name for that today is Texas. And that's how the city and the town received its name for the people, and the state, Texas, which translates to Texas. And now... And
the original language was from your tribe?
Yes. When I was a little boy, at 10 years of age, they took my DNA from the remains they found at this church. I'm a direct descendant of our Pajalacha tribe that the Spanish found here 500 years ago. I'll give you 4 of the names of the 30 tribes that lived here. Nowhere to be found in any history book. Nowhere. I'll give you 4 of 30. the Pajalacha tribe, which I'm a direct descendant of, the Aranamas tribe, the Payaya tribe, and the Coahuitican group of tribes. The Coahuitican group of tribes consisted of 15 tribes, and they have migrated from the interior of what is today Mexico into this area thousands of years before because of the river. They lived on the banks of this river, and they were to be known as Coahuiticans. They came from an area in Mexico called Coahuila. That's why they were called Coahuiticans. That's the reason that we have 5 missions here this close together.
Fantastic. Sir,
sir.
You're a
Thank you,
godsend. Thank you very much. We appreciate you very much, sir. And your name again is?
Arturo de Córdoba, Concepcion, Velázquez, Valdez.
Very good. Do you have a book?
Yes, I do.
What's the name of the book? Where can we get it?
The book is 600 Years of Existence.
600 Years of Existence, written by you. You're the author. And we can get it on
It's still
Amazon?
in printed though. I haven't finished
Oh, you need to print it and then let us know.
Yeah.
Let
Once
the
I
world
finish
know when you finish it, because that's
It'll take
very
me
important.
probably about another 6 months to finish it.
Very good.
Jump right into it.
We'll be coming here to visit. Thank you very much.